glance, which Pokemon are Illumina seems pretty random. I mean, why Meganium rather than a more popular starter like Charizard? But the more I looked into it, the more I realized that the Illumina Pokemon were picked for a very specific reason. They each represent an important value in the Pokemon world. I'm gonna go through each of the Illumina Pokemon and talk about what value they represent. I'll say the Illumina Pokemon's location first, so if I get to one that you haven't done and you're avoiding spoilers, you'll know when to pause. Starting off with our box art Illumina Pokemon from Florio Nature Park, Meganium, who represents peace. Meganium is the final evolution of Chikorita, the Gen 2 grass-type starter. It's not very good competitively. In fact, most people agree that it's the worst starter when it comes to battling. Despite not being the best Pokemon for a fight, Meganium has some pretty fascinating out-of-game abilities that has personally made it one of my favorites. According to the Pokédex, its breath can revive dead plants and flowers, and the fragrance from the flower petals around its neck is very soothing. In every depiction of Meganium, it's consistently portrayed as a peacekeeper, and peace is shown to be very important to the Pokemon world. Very often, Pokemon games revolve around two legendary Pokemon fighting, with a third legendary swooping in to keep the peace. There's also, of course, AZ's War, which is shown to be very bad. So it seems pretty clear that peace is an important value in Pokemon, and what better Pokemon to represent that than Meganium? Next up is the Lentil Seafloor Illumina spot, where you travel deep underwater to find Wishy Washy. What makes Wishy Washy unique is its ability Schooling, which causes Wishy Washy to transform from its solo form into its school form. When fish swim on their own, they're very vulnerable to predators, and a single Wishy Washy is very tiny, not exactly an intimidating presence. But a school of Wishy Washy? You don't want to mess with Wishy Washy in its school form. It even has the nickname, the Demon of the Sea. Which value does Wishy Washy represent? Well, teamwork, of course. Teamwork is one of the most important values in Pokemon. I mean, the whole point of the game is that you're assembling a team of Pokemon. Wishy Washy shows that working together is better than working alone, so it's the perfect Pokemon to represent teamwork. In the Fireflow Volcano Illumina spot, you find not one, but two Volcaruna. This was honestly one of the most difficult ones to figure out on this list, and I think that's because most of the information about it starts off with legends say that. So it's difficult to know what exactly happened in the past with this Pokemon. But what seems to be consistent is that Volcaruna was a source of heat in cold areas. Specifically the cold from when a volcano erupted and ash blocked out the sun. No, not that ash. Volcanic ash. Volcanic winters, or the cold caused by ash blocking out the sun, can sometimes last for 80 years. So legit an entire lifetime. Craziness! This is why Volcaruna represents protection, another important value in Pokemon. Pokemon protect people, who in turn protect them. Apparently mostly from Spearow, but anyways. There's also a lot of emphasis on protecting the world from threats like meteors, the ultimate weapon, the darkest day. Volcaruna is the perfect Pokemon to symbolize how protecting one another in the world has been important since the very beginning. Moving on to the Elsewhere Forest, where you'll find Melodic swimming around in the lake. Melodic is my favorite Pokemon of all time. Like, I'm legit planning on getting a Melodic tattoo. So if I get a bit excited about this one, well, you'll know why. Melodic is said to be the most beautiful Pokemon, but it doesn't start off that way. It starts off as Phoebus, which is, well, but regardless of how Feebas looks on the outside, it's still deserving of love. And if you show it love, if you show Feebas that it's beautiful, it evolves into Melodic. Melodic represents the importance of love, both for yourself and for others. It has the ability Competitive, which boosts its special attack 2 stages if any of its stats are lowered. Basically, Melodic has enough self-love from overcoming its experiences as a Feebas not to let you bring it down. Regarding love for others, Melodic can soften human hatred using its cry. And hate is the opposite of love, so it's basically showing people the importance of having love and respect for others. We see the value of love a lot in Pokemon. Especially in earlier Pokemon games, a lack of love was what caused the rival characters to lose all the time. Is it more cheesy to refer to it as love or the power that's inside? Anyways, Melodic is the best representation of love, and I was so excited to see it in Pokemon Snap. Journeying through the depths of Outaway Cave, you'll find the Illumina Pokemon Stelix. It's not super clear how an Onix becomes a Stelix. I mean, in the games it's pretty simple, you trade it while it's holding a metal coat. But the Pokedex entries have 3 different theories about how Onix evolves. Some entries say that a really old Onix will just evolve into Stelix, but this doesn't really explain why it evolves. Other entries say it's from swallowing too much iron. Okay, Maybe. But my personal favorite theory is that the heat from deep underground makes its body harder than diamond or steel, which turns it into a Stelix. This is definitely the most interesting theory in my opinion, but it's entirely possible that it's a bit of all three. Regardless, it's not easy to get a Stelix. On top of that, it says that Stelix burrows deep into the ground. Some Pokemon researchers think that it's trying to reach the planet's core. Between the difficulty of evolving it and its brutal journey underground, Stelix is the perfect symbol of determination. Determination is never giving up, even when things get tough. We see this a lot of times with evil teams in Pokemon who belittle the player or sometimes even just straight up ask them to give up. But because we're filled with determination, we refuse to give up, even when the odds are not in our favor. Stelix's never-ending journey through impassable terrain is the perfect metaphor for this value. And finally, in the ruins of Remembrance, you encounter Xerneas. Xerneas is a legendary Pokemon with the power to share eternal life using its ability, Fairy Aura. It can even revive the dead, as it did with AZ's Floette. However, its power is limited. If it expends too much energy, it sleeps for 1,000 years. Xerneas represents the value of life as a whole. To support life, we need a combination of peace, teamwork, protection, love, and determination. I think that Xerneas created the other Illumina Pokemon because of this symbolic connection. Plus, Xerneas has the power to make them immortal, and the Illumina Pokemon have been around for thousands of years, so it makes sense that Xerneas is at the metaphorical center of them all. It's also at the literal center of the Illumina Pokemon in the painting, so yeah. I personally think this is why these specific Pokemon were chosen to be the Illumina Pokemon, but what do you think? Can you think of any other reasons why these Illumina Pokemon were chosen? Let me know in the comments. Make sure to like, subscribe, and follow me on Instagram at KaylaCapsule for sneak peeks of upcoming videos. Bye!